So is it your first time that you play in Finland?
Yes, it is.
Yeah. Okay. So
Not for the band, for what.
yeah, of course. But you're new to
Yeah.
the band, so
Yeah.
so how does it feel?
How does it feel? Well, I haven't played a show yet, so I can't really judge it.
Yeah,
But
yeah. Just, well, yeah. I mean, you're very lucky because today.
Mm.
So you'll see. You don't have any expectations, or
Well, to be honest, when I'm on tour, I never have expectations, so
Okay.
it's only getting me better.
right?
Yeah.
So you'll see.
Yeah, but I already saw a few familiar faces outside, so I think it will be quite okay.
Yeah, there are some people.
Yeah.
Should be cool. So let's go back a bit to the 10th year anniversary show that you played in March. So how was the experience for you, like playing with this big orchestra?
Yeah, it was really cool. Yeah, because it's also because live normally we use the orchestra on hard disk, and this time you could hear the songs with the orchestra, and you could really hear that it really works perfectly.
Yeah.
We didn't use anything on tape this time, so that was really perfect to work this way, and it sounds huge. That was really cool.
Yeah. I also suppose it was challenging to set up.
Oh,
to
very,
organize.
very. It was. I must admit, it was also pretty hectic time as well. So because we started preparing already. I mean, at the time that I joined the band, it's like 15 months ago already. We were already thinking about the whole concept, and about a year before the show, we already started all preparing it, the whole production setup, which venue we were going to use, because it was a very hectic time, and because it was also, I must say, of course, we were looking forward to the show, but it was also a relief when it was over.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So did you have some pressure?
Yeah, it was pressure, of course, but that's normal.
Yeah. But in the end, it turned out pretty well,
Yeah.
from what we could see, so it was
Indeed.
a success.
Pretty much.
So to you, what does this orchestra add to EPICA's sound? Because the band is used to using orchestra. So what does it add? Which dimension?
You mean live?
Yeah.
Yeah, well, live, to be honest, I think always when you use more the digital effects to create orchestra, it sounds a little bit, I don't know, a little bit more clinical, a little bit more flat, and live it sounds really sharp and more bombastic. It has way more dynamics that way, and yeah, it's the real deal. It's like you totally experience those songs. That's very cool.
Yeah. That's also real music, opposed to computers.
Yeah.
Music. Yeah. So do you, although you haven't been in the band since the beginning,
No.
do you have the feeling that that show pretty much sums up what EPICA has achieved for 10 years?
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, you could really, because a few weeks ago actually we were writing a piece about the whole, because we're now preparing the whole DVD, and we're working on the artwork and doing the mixes and all that kind of stuff. We're all writing this personal note about our experience with the band, the experience about Retrospect, and I know EPICA for quite a long time, and Mark since his career started with After Forever, because we're all from the same area. And I remember when EPICA started, it was still a very young, pretty shaky band on stage in the beginning, and it's really amazing to see how this band has grown through 10 years. And I think it's really at a peak right now, and this peak is still going on, and that's really cool to see. And this show really sums it up. I mean, I never heard a band sound so big before, and I mean, everybody has grown in this band. You can really hear it, you can see it as well. And of course, I mean, also because the ex-members played there as well, it's also cool to see to go a little bit back in the time as well. Yeah.
Yeah, so do you think it marked a new step in the band's career?
Definitely.
Yeah, okay. Alright, so let's go back a bit to the CD released in 2009. Yeah, the classical conspiracies, although you were not part of it. Do you think then it was challenging to cover some soundtrack for the band?
Yeah. Of course, I wasn't involved in that process,
Yeah,
but we also did it at this show. Yeah, in certainly the way it was. The good thing is that they already did it before, so we already had all the arrangements. Everything was already on paper. We already had recordings as well, but still, with those kind of pieces, you can really notice that you really have to rehearse pretty well, and everything, every single note has to be there. Because normally when we do a live show, of course we always play quite similar arrangement as on the album, but we always improvise a little bit, and that's what I really noticed with this show, that with pieces like that you can improvise. Because or else it would be one complete mess. So you have to be really precise, accurate to perform it well live. But it was cool. I mean, everybody did some good homework. We once rehearsed with the band in the rehearsal room as well. This time using a click track and the tape, you know, to kind of simulate it. But when we went on stage and we did it the first time, it was bam, one time it was already done.
Okay, so yeah, with that album, we had the feeling that the visual aspect was missing, you know. So now we're gonna get this like DVD retrospect.
Oh yeah.
So is it to be out in autumn?
Yeah, we're aiming for early October. We haven't got a date yet, but we already discussed it with our record label. But it's probably going to be somewhere in October.
Okay.
Yeah.
So do you plan to include retrospect only, like the show, or some extra bonuses? Or?
Yeah, we're also working on some bonus stuff as well. Of course, it's going to be the whole show we're going to put on DVD, also on CD. We're also working on a Blu-ray version for it, so people really like good quality of sound and vision, of course. Don't worry. And yes, we're also working. We also did a lot of backstage issue of stuff, and there was this camera team also on the day itself. Did some extra interviews and stuff like that, and a lot of pictures. We have a huge amount of pictures, so there's going to be a lot of cool extra material on it.
I think fans will appreciate.
Yeah, even we appreciate it. This is really cool to see that.
Also, Okay, so are you free like to give your ideas, and are you involved like in the making of the DVD?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes, that's one of my favorite things about this band is a team effort.
Yeah.
That's I mean, you have a lot of bands out there who basically have one or two leaders in the band, and the rest is more like session musicians, and that's the whole thing with EPICA is what I really like about this is absolutely a team. We all do everything together, so everybody gets involved, and I never really experienced it before with a band like this. Yeah, of course at the beginning of the days, but when I became a professional musician, most of the times I was more like a session musician in a band than actually an involved band member, and now we do everything together. That's really cool.
So was it easy for you to integrate yourself with the band and to start working with them?
Easier than I actually thought.
Okay.
Yeah, it was pretty weird because I remember when they called me to join the band, it was actually like a week before the ski presentation, before the release of the record for the Different. They already talked with Yves, and it was obvious that Yves, you know, you probably heard the story because he's got a pretty big job besides EPICA, and as far as a big company, he's probably going to be the director of the company in the future as well. So I totally understand his choice. But yeah, I was totally involved already. That's pretty weird to see. We haven't even did a rehearsal before I joined the tour. No, that was really weird because it was like, okay, they called me and said, okay, when I'm going to do my first show, is he going to do a final show or a goodbye show? He said, no, he only wants to do the CD presentation, not announce that he's going to leave the band, and just keep it that way. It was pretty cool, and I understand that his choice. But 2 weeks later, I already had to do my first show, so I had like 2 weeks time to study 5 albums. Yeah, so it was a little bit more of pressure on me, of course. So I asked, okay, when am I going to do rehearsal? Nah, don't worry, you'll be fine. Okay.
And it went pretty well. So.
Yeah, it went pretty well. It was already the first show. It really felt that I was in the band for already like a few years. The rest of the band already told me like, wow, it really works pretty well.
I watched this first show, and I really feel like you were part of the band, you know, like outsider, or you just joined, you know, like you were really like, there was really like complicity. It was pretty surprising, but because you know it doesn't happen all the time with especially in the band, which happened around for 10 years, and, you know, with a pretty like stable lineup. So.
Yeah, of course. I mean, it's not that easy to replace a guy who has been in the band for almost 10 years. of course, I mean, I also felt a little bit of pressure, but on the other hand, I also felt a lot of confidence about it. Because the good thing is that I also joined Marine, of course, the year before that. So we already, it's almost the same lineup. So I also now have experience playing Steve Mark with Isaac, with Arjen, of course, which is very important for the rhythm section, and Steve, of course.
Yeah.
And we also did one surprise show in Brazil where Koen also joined us on stage. So there you go. So we already had a lot of stage experience before, so that was already a pretty good kind of rehearsal. And I already know the people for more than 10 years, so
yeah,
there you go. Yeah.
So you were friends.
Yeah.
So yeah, so singing is great. So how do you think it affected if you did like the shows when you were in? Was she still much involved or a bit less energy? Or?
Yeah, of course we didn't know what to expect, of course, because for her it's new, for us it's new as well. But I'm surprised how well she took it up.
Yeah.
And because we did quite an intensive tour in Asia and Australia a few weeks ago, and we also went to Mexico with all these different time zones. But I'm surprised how good she's doing right now. And of course, you can see she's pregnant now for like 5 months or anything already. You can see it pretty well.
Yeah.
But she's doing a good job. Of course, we're going to take away some work from her, so she doesn't have too much pressure on it. She's already. Because she's already pregnant for such a long time, and she's already enough on her mind right now, so we're picking up a different task from her, so but she's doing a pretty well job right now, so.
Right, so, well, there's going to be a break, but not too long, because you're already planning to visit the city in 2017, so have you already started to work on new material?
Oh, yeah, we already have quite a list of songs already, to be honest. And we're already planning to work. I'm not going to say anything about which producer and all that kind of stuff, but we're actually next month we're already doing our first pre-productions.
Okay.
Yeah, we're going to sit together with the producer, talk a little bit about songwriting, everything. And the cool thing is now everybody's involved in the songwriting process. Even I am already written like 5 tracks already. And we're just going to write. We're not going to do like most bands that would like write 50 songs and then do an album, that's it. No, we're going to write like 30 songs, put it on one big pile, see which songs work best together. And I think that's a good way. And we also thought about a different approach for the next album, not doing it all home, because a lot of bands these days, they record stuff at home. And it's not more like a group effort anymore. We really want to go back in the studio, rehearse in the studio first, then record the songs as a group to get this whole completely different flow compared to the last album.
Yeah.
Yeah, so, but with this time we're really going to take our time for this. We're going to take it quite long to be honest. I think we probably won't play for at least 8 months, so which is pretty long for this band. So this time we can really take our time to record this album and write it. So.
Yeah. So yeah, it seems like the teamwork is really important.
Absolutely.
It's going to be even more like for the stuff coming out.
Yeah.
So I think that's cool because yeah, it will be something different from everyone's ideas. So